Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Timmy Trent. I'm your link to the fire of sin and to God. You, God said you got a power. You don't want to take that power, don't take a responsibility, then you continue on what you're doing. And don't blame nobody else because you make that choice, right? Today you have a choice to grab their power back. Take that power, to understand that power, and to create and build a future for yourself and for your family. But then again, that's up to you. It doesn't matter how much more information you're trying to learn outside in the world. You're trying to do anything. It doesn't matter how much money you're trying to spend to help. You're trying to help yourself by spending all this money, and you learn from all these people. But it then came down. It doesn't matter how much money you spend, but it comes down to the choice you make, the decision you make, your power, the responsibility you take on, and what you do. That's it. You can spend all the money, seminar, go to all these places and stuff like that, enjoy yourself, whatever it is, and mingle with all these people talking about. But at the end of the day, you gotta understand this. You hold that power. Nobody can change anything in your life until you decide to. That's it. That's no if but no, right? Now today I want to talk about how human beings, instead of believing themselves and believing God, they start changing themselves to um, to get attention from other human beings, right? Instead of pleasing God, they're trying to please other human beings. So what happened? They change their complexity, their body, their identity, as a human, pure, beautiful human. God created them, right? So they have to they have to find something where they can change themselves to entice other human, to get the attention from other human, right? Now, for thousands of years, evil people like to do this, right? Evil people like to get other people's attention. People that live their life. They want to take their family, and just live life, right? So evil come along and say, "Hey, man, let's do this right here. This gets people attention, and let's grab their attention and get their power, and steal from them, make them do things for us." You know what I'm saying? Get their attention. Uh, let them know who we are, right? So what happened? They put stuff on themselves. They do things for their body. They do stuff like that to get that attention they grab, right? But at the end of the day, you know, instead of building something, instead of learning, build, and create something, they want to steal attention from other people. So what they do, and then this happened for thousands of years. The kingdom, all kind of stuff like that. You know, the people that entice the king, what happened? They want to get a king attention. What happened? Wait, they entertain the king, right? They start like dress up in a certain way to entertain the king and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's nothing new, right? And instead of being human, pure human, beautiful human, and represent yourself and do your human thing and follow God and spread God, God words, and to help other humans, right? Instead they want attention. What happened in today's world right now? Yet you see people become not human like. And you look at a person that have nothing on their body, if they take care of themselves, they look beautiful as a human, right? A pure human, right? So now you go out there, you see people like with different thing on their face, um, ink on their in the body everywhere, right? God's not gonna stop you, right? Because as human, you judge each other, right? That's it. You want to live like animal, or you want to live like human. Living like human, you gotta be human. You want to be animal, you live like animal. Now I gotta say, we all have sympathy, compassion, for certain things that we see, right? We see an animal hurt, right? As human, yeah, we feel sorry and we want to help the animal. Or we see somebody, you know, hurt, we want to help them. That's human. That's what we should have. We should have compassion and sympathy for other people. But you have to understand, sometimes those people make the choice that they want to be at, right? And it doesn't matter what you do, your sympathy cannot help them because that's a choice they make. If they want to be bad and they want to be evil, you cannot help that, right? And you see that, and the thing is that when you see them in face hard time or kind of stuff like that, you have that compassion, sympathy for them. Why you want in your head you wonder why they in that situation, right? But you never really wonder why. You know what? That's a choice they make. Sometimes they don't like to get help. But that's maybe they understand more life more than you are. They don't want to work like you are. They don't want to go be in the system like you are, right? So they say, I want to be free. Yeah, I might have nothing. I might walk on the street like a homeless, but I want to be free from the system, right? Maybe they know something that you don't know, but you look at them and say, oh, poor guy, homeless guy, you know. Maybe that guy is smarter than you. Maybe he don't want to be in the system that control him, right? But that's his choice that he made, but you don't know that, right? So you feel sympathy for him. You might come up to him. That's why you get a lot of time when you go to some of these homeless people. Say, you're trying to say something to them, and they be mean to them. I don't need no help. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to work. Why did I clean up myself to go to work for to be a slave, right? You go do it, right? Give me some of your money, right? So that's how it works, right? But that's how our world works, right? If you don't understand that, so what happened? Like you run in sympathy and the thing is that your sympathy and your compassion. What happened? Like you say, oh, that rich guy, he's not helping the poor guy, and now you become judgment. You become law and say, oh, I need to vote for this guy right here. He's going to take money from this rich guy and give to that poor guy. And he don't want to stand. That poor guy want to be there. He don't want to be the rich guy. He don't want, he don't want to be a slave. He don't want to be working hard every day. He want to be living free. Maybe that's what God intended for him to do. God, you know what? You be free, prosper, and build, and things that he's not building, right? So but he lived free, right? He out of the system. He don't pay nothing, but he lived in the world. But he lived in a world with people that we make things as important to us. He don't care. Right? He's homeless. He don't own nothing. So he just live on the land where God created for him. He enjoy his life the way maybe God want him to enjoy, because he don't have to worry about nothing. He just live on the land, right? And you give to him, that's fine. He's fine with that. You know what I'm saying? He don't need a lot, right? And maybe that's what we should be, right? But the thing is that we can't, right? Because God allow us to build houses, to build things that we can, protect ourselves, right? We're gonna be smarter, right? So in the world that it came down to the decision that you had to make and what you learned, right? And same thing. Traditionally, we all learn the same thing for the past, hundreds of years, right? We teach our kids, traditionally, like, pay attention, obey, man law, and follow the law, take care of yourself, right? So that's what we obey. So conditionally, we're brought up that way for thousands of years. But today, technology, because every decade, the new technology came on, right? New technology, because a human, because we create and we build, whether for intention, for good or bad, that's what we do, right? But everything can be used for good, the glory of God, right? But you cannot be scared, because when you read the Bible, all kind of stuff, you start making all these predictions, you start making all these assumptions, all kind of stuff. What happened? You are scared. You're powerless, right? And you're waiting for suicide mission, right? Well, same thing. The evil want human to be destroyed, and God believers say, you know what? We need God to come back and save us, because we can't do shit here. We can do nothing here because we powerless. See, the same thing. God believer waiting. Instead of taking action, like God have them free will to take action and to build, to prosper, multiply. But they waiting. When they waiting, what happened? Evil gonna take over. When evil take over, God's gonna say, "What the heck? I give you power. What are you doing? You do nothing, right? So I'm gonna throw this thing here, drown the whole earth. Please, God, save me." Too late. He give you power to make a choice. The consequence is coming, right? If you don't stand up for yourself, then you're useless. Right, guys? Follow God, follow Jesus Christ, follow taking my man, change your life. Have a good day. The truth is true, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good day.